Gunnar Stockton is the show at quarterback. What did you see week one?
I thought he played really well. Like a dual threat quarterback, had 73 rushing yards on the ground. You can see here the zone read option where he pulls it, worked twice in the red zone. He's really fast and quick on his feet. They run an RPO style offense, and they want to get the ball to this guy, Zach Branch, on the edge as much as possible. I want to be able to see Gunnar Stockton sit into the pocket and just go through progressions at a high rate. That's something that the coaches said last week. He was a little bit robotic.
Well, he's going to have a different-looking O-line in front of him today. Guard Juan Gaston is out today. Right tackle Ernest Green, a game-time decision. For more on that, let's go down to Madison.
Yeah, Clay, well, I watched Ernest Green warm up. He was not warming up with the ones. We were told it was going to be a game-time decision, so it looks like he's not going to be a go. But in his place is Jaw Jackson, the 6'10", 300-pound player. And then for Juan Gaston, that's also going to be a replacement there. It's going to be Michael Weenie, the redshirt freshman, so a lot of depth and a completely new look to the right side of the O-line.
So we're going to be keeping an eye on that closely today. Austin Peay's second-year head coach is Jeff Ferris. And the Govs coming off that wire-to-wire 34-14 road win at Middle Tennessee last week. The program's second all-time win against the FBS. Georgia won the toss, and they want the football, and we're underway here in Athens. And the Dogs are going to start at the 25-yard line. All right, so here comes Gunnar Stockton and company. And starting fast on offense, a big priority coming into the 2025 season. We'll see how they get it going today.
Yeah, Gunnar Stockton only his third career start this game, and he's looking forward to starting fast, like you said, Clay. They started fast last week. They scored on the first drive. Coach Bobo, the offensive coordinator, told us in meetings this week they want to get the ball out on the perimeter to their guys in space. Super excited to see what he has to do today.
It was solid week one, 4 total touchdowns. Seemed very poised. They're going to do a little end around to Dylan Bell. He's going to do a little bit of everything in this offense this season for Georgia. And Chase Allen chases him down on the first play. It's a 3-yard pickup. Talon Taylor, true freshman wide receiver, goes in motion. They're going to get it to him on the perimeter. Good catch and run for a first down. Taylor. He reminds some people around here of George Pickens. They are very high on that young man. As they're at the 36-yard line on their opening series, Stockton very good at improvising. He gets out of trouble and takes off. He is going to be marked down short of the 45-yard line. Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo will tell you that Stockton is actually more comfortable when he's off schedule. He gets 7. And we've got a Georgia player down in the field here.
And you see here, just leakage in the pocket. That's what we saw last week on film from the Georgia offensive line. They're massive human beings, but they have 4 inexperienced starters with 5 starts or less. They wanted to get their play-action game going. They were hoping for a better start, protecting up front.
On first down, Nate Frazier into plus territory. And ball came loose, and Austin Peay has it. Nate Frazier, Dogs' #1 running back, coughs it up, and Ellis comes away with the football for Austin Peay.
You couldn't ask for a better start from Austin Peay. This is just he's got the ball carried high, and then Ellis puts the hat on the helmet. That's exactly what they teach you in defensive drills. You want to put your helmet right on the football. And boy, you can't ask for a better start right there by Miles Wiley right there.
Yeah, Miles Wiley knocked it loose. Ellis recovered it. Ellis usually wears #1, but wearing the numeral 0 this week to honor Will Hardrick, who passed away in May. And so now the Govs have it. And their first play from scrimmage after the turnover. This is complete on the outside to Javius Bond. As Chris Parson, a Mississippi State transfer, who led that historic upset last week, in his first start at Austin Peay. It's the completion and a pickup of 6.
And coaches really love Chris Parson. 3rd career start, got a really quick release. He's a true passer first who can scramble when he's needed. The coaches told us this week he needs to learn how to play quarterback, face some live bullets. No bigger test than Georgia on the road.
Cortland Simmons, their number 1 running back, is going to get his first carry. And he's going to be stopped short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down and short. Quintavious Johnson, the outside linebacker, makes the stop. The defense for Georgia passed just about every test last week. Didn't face much adversity. They get a little bit now after the impactful turnover on the opening drive.
Yeah, quick possession change, 3rd and 2 right here. Look for Georgia to rush 5 pass rushers. See what they do back end.
Cortland Simmons gets the direct snap, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Quintavious Johnson and C.J. Allen, the preseason All-American linebacker, makes the stop, and it's going to be 4th down. Georgia with its first turnover of the year on its opening possession. Nate Frazier coughs it up. It's a deep running back room. 5 running backs had carries week 1. Frazier's going to start this series on the sideline.
And Nate Frazier's their lead back. Look, I know they was running back by committee, but he got 7 of the first 9 carries last week. Not what you want to be able to put the ball on the ground, but they do have a lot of depth at that running back position, Clay.
Chauncey Bowens is out on the field here to start this series. Penalty flag comes in before the snap. Jason MacArthur is our lead official today. It's an SEC crew. So Georgia broke the huddle with 12. So there's Kirby Smart, 49 years old, 7 trips to the SEC title game, 3 titles. Back-to-back national championships in 21 and 22. Can't believe he's comfortable with the way this thing has started out.
A fumble and a defensive or offensive penalty, not great.
They'll stay on the ground. That's going to be a run to the 25-yard line for Bowens. Give him 10. Davion Blackwell makes the stop. Rushing was 2nd to last in the SEC last year, Chase, for Georgia. 124 yards per game. This team, you hear them talk about it, they are committed to fixing that, and that's what Bobo has been saying ever since the start of camp.
They're going to really lean on a run, especially with the young quarterback making his 3rd career start, almost 250 rushing yards last weekend. Off to a good start today.
Again, he throws it outside, a little screen pass to Colby Young. And he is finally wrestled down. Colby Young, he was suspended for the last 9 games of 2024, but Georgia really has high hopes for him this year. Leonard Humphreys comes in motion. They're going to get it to Zachariah Branch, and look at Zach go. That's going to be a 1st down for the USC transfer. He's into plus territory. Trevor Hardy gets him to the sideline. That's a pickup of 17. Oscar Delp, the tight end, in there on 2nd down and 8. It is caught. Noah Thomas, another transfer. 6'5", led Texas A&M with 39 catches and 8 touchdowns last year. He makes it 3rd down and manageable after that gain of 6 yards.
3rd down right here. You're in field goal range, 3rd and 2. This is easily 2-down territory. You're right in the fringe. We want to look forward. I would expect a run here. They're under center usually when they are. It's a trick play or it's a run.
That's the first catch of the year for Noah Thomas. And now they go back to the ground trying to convert on 3rd down. Chauncey Bowens stood up at a good second effort. 5'11", 225 pounds. Dwight Phillips deep in the backfield. Ethan Barbour, the tight end, lined up as a fullback here. And the speedy Phillips cuts back, gets to the outside. He has world-class speed. Run out near the 10-yard line. Dwight Phillips, 23 yards and a 1st down.
See Dwight Phillips here starting to the right. Great vision by Dwight Phillips, who ran a really fast 100-yard dash, put the ball on the outside hand, was able to get to the sideline. They love his breakaway speed. His father, Dwight Sr., Olympic long jump gold medal. He ran a 10.43 in the 100-meter dash. The depth is insane. Heavy dose of Chauncey Bowens and Dwight Phillips here.
Bowens again picking his way. Had a good lead block, and he gets inside the 5-yard line. Drew Bobo, big center, the son of offensive coordinator Mike Bobo, leading the way on that play.
Got 5 to the left.
And it's Bowens going in for the touchdown. First touchdown of the year for Chauncey Bowens. And on the 10th play of the drive, Georgia gets in for the first score.
Just an awesome job right there by Chauncey Bowens. They put 5 guys to the left side of the field and decided to run Chauncey Bowens on an inside zone to the right. Everyone was looking left. Let's run right. I mean, that would work in Little League football for my kids' game.
10 plays, 80 yards in 5:16, and it's 7-0 Georgia.
Dwight Phillips cutting back right here. World-class speed, 10.43. Almost does it, and then Chauncey Bowens puts it in the end zone for the first dog score.
The offensive line, Juan Gaston out today, injured ankle. Ernest Green dealing with a back injury. And now Josh Jackson, who is 6'10", 348 pounds, a guy they are really excited about. Obviously a little raw, has only been really playing organized football in the last few years, but his upside is incredible, and now he's in.
Yeah, not a great start for Georgia, right? Last week you get those 2 guys injured, and then this week Josh Jackson's in the tent. A lot of inexperienced up front, probably their most inexperienced group.
Cortland Simmons in the backfield with Parson, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, and Parson can run, tries to do it here, and he's not going to get much, maybe a yard for Parson.
3rd down right here for Georgia. It's loud. Stay in coverage.
3rd and a handful. Parson is going to be sacked. Chris Cole, the second-year linebacker, expected to have a big year, drops Parson for a loss of 8, and Austin Peay will have to punt. To the right of the quarterback, Stockton, and they're going to throw it to Jones. He makes the catch and spun down right around the 6-yard line.
Would love to just see him get a touchdown after the early fumble because he is their lead back. Get the confidence up.
Barbour, the tight end, out there in motion, and it is Frazier taking it in for the touchdown. Kind of hear the sigh of relief from him all the way up here.
You love to see it. Just a nice inside zone, a good cut to fall into the end zone. This big offensive line, it's just inside zone. Find a hole, put your head down. You're 5'10", 205 pounds. Love to see that. That's a confidence builder, not only for this game, but going into the gauntlet of SEC teams they have to play coming up.
Teammate on and off the field.
Yeah, everybody likes him around here, that's for sure. That's a completion on 1st down, paying the price from DeMello Jones. A screen to the near side. As caught by Nate Garnett, his 2nd catch today. Parson, who's 4 for 4 throwing, wants to throw again here on 2nd and 4. Rolling out to his right, it is caught, and the tight end is going to be dumped. That's Jay Skoglund. And they'll move the chains as Austin Peay is trying to sustain a drive for the first time today.
Good start there for Austin Peay. And look at these guys running on and off the field. This is exactly what Coach Schumann, the defensive coordinator, told us. We are going to play a ton of guys. Last week versus Marshall, defensively, only 2 guys played more than 30 snaps.
Parson unloads. Good coverage downfield. What a catch. Kamari Maxwell again, the true freshman from Savannah, a gain of 26, biggest play of the day for the Govs.
What a great throw right here from Chris Parson, and Kamari Maxwell just goes up and over number 15 DeMello Jones. Talk about playing above the rim.
And now a loss. Cortland Simmons brought down by Elijah Griffin, the top D lineman in the country last year, coming out of Savannah Christian Prep.
Just a wrecking ball right here on your screen, just going to absolutely annihilate. Then no one's going to block him. How do you not block the top defensive recruit in the nation? Now we're going back right here. You got to stay on track versus this Georgia defense if you're Austin Peay. Give me a third and manageable. You're in field goal range. Do not take any more sacks or negative plays on your best drive of the game.
Here comes the crowd, really loud for the first time today. Parson over the middle. Bobbled and hauled in at around the 30-yard line. That catch made by Shamar Kirk. Javius Bond is in the backfield with Parson. He's the transfer from East Carolina, their best offensive weapon. He gets it, and he's going to be stacked up. Georgia was ready for him. He'll get 3 or 4, but 4th down and 10 coming up. And the field goal unit will come out for Austin Peay.
And I'm okay with that call right there, Clay. It's 3rd and forever. You got a ferocious Georgia defense. You have points in the bag. If he makes this field goal, just run it. Try to get a stop on defense. First points of the game coming up here.
Javius Bond, by the way, a guy that they're going to use on both sides of the ball today for Austin Peay. This is a 44-yard attempt for Carson Smith. He was 2 for 2 on field goal attempts last week against Middle Tennessee. He has a strong leg, and that one is good. 44-yard three-pointer, and look at Jeff Ferris. He's fired up.
I mean, when we talked to Kirby Smart, too, in the production meeting, he was not that funny with us. Like, he's got...
all business.
He's all business. His demeanor is excellent. I mean, 10th season, right, here at Georgia. Unbelievable record of 106-19, Clay. How about that?
Couple of national titles, and his quarterback today, 10 for 10. Chris Parson, as it happens for Austin Peay, 7 for 7. Now, Gunner, they want to see some improvement in the play-action shot plays and overall comfort in the pocket. He's checked it down a lot, but with that said, he's 10 for 10 so far. On 1st down, play action here, has some time. Looking to throw deep, but it's a wobbler, and there's the first incompletion. So we jinxed him. 2nd down.
At least he's taking the shot down the field. You're going to see 14 right here. The pressure coming off. Good job right there. And then number 18, Marcus Howard, hits Gunner Stockton on the late loop. Gunner had Zachariah Branch streaking across the middle of the field. Would have taken a nice throw. This is what they want to see. Can you stay in the pocket? I know stuff's not always clean.
Well, one of the best things about the Gunner Stockton story is that he's been waiting his turn, but preparing like he was a starter from day one. Tight end Oscar Delp told me earlier this week, you won't find a single guy on this team that does not like him, that has one negative thing to say about him. And he said, even when he was freshman and he wasn't a starter, he would play video games. He would play Madden in his bedroom, making reads, running through the plays, and preparing like he was a starter from day one.
So using video games as a game prep tool, I like it. On 3rd down, pumps. Now flushed out to the left, still looking downfield, trying to improvise with his feet, and he's chased to the sideline well short of the line to gain, and it's 4th down. Andrew Chamblee, the weak side linebacker, with a nice play to get Austin Peay off the field.
Gunner looking to his right, not open. They bring pressure off the edge, and you're going to see London Humphrey on the bottom of your screen. You can't see it, but he's streaking wide open down the sideline. Gunner is a runner. You have to keep your eyes downfield. You got to become a passer when you break outside of the box of play. Just a miss right there. He was open.
Tipped. Intercepted by Georgia. Ellis Robinson has him. Robinson, redshirt freshman corner. #1 recruit here a couple of years ago for the Bulldogs. with the first takeaway of the year for Georgia.
I was just about to say that right here. Chris Parson throws a little bit hard and high for Kamari Maxwell, and then Ellis Robinson comes in, tips and overthrows. You got to get those. Diving catch. Looks like he controls it through the ground. Ellis Robinson was the #1 recruit in the entire 2024 class, and this is my favorite thing that they do. A savage. Put those shoulder pads on, young man. First turnover of the year. Gotta love it.
Stockton pitches it. This is Dwight Phillips Jr. That's going to be enough for a first down. First down and 10. And that one to the sideline for Dylan Bell. Again, that
ball gets tipped.
I think it did.
At the line of scrimmage, Gunnar Stockton has a double screen on, so that's not his first progression. He's supposed to pump left. He has a guy streaking down the sideline one-on-one. He thought he was hot. Davion Hood was the one who got the hand on it, but he thought he was hot. You got to just trust your protection there and stay in there and throw the ball deep.
So that's a loss of 6. Second down and 15. And Branch is blown up. Ball comes loose. They're going to mark it down. Boy, Jacob Neely, who had a sack last week in the win over Middle Tennessee, came in and just leveled Branch for a loss of 5. This is going in the wrong direction for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and for how much good stuff they've done on a couple drives, other than the turnover, the perimeter blocking is not great right there at all by Dylan Bell. You got to win the point of attack. You got to be more physical. And for Austin Peay, if they can hold them here, you're out of field goal range. You got to feel good about getting the ball back here on 3rd and 21. Got to get about to the 35, 32-yard line for a field goal.
Here comes pressure off the corners, and it's incomplete. Stockton had to hurry. Kendall Ball was breathing down his neck. So was Davion Hood. And it's 4th down.
They're heating them up. 6 guys across the line of scrimmage. You have 5 offensive linemen, and they're going to end up just pressuring off Gunner's left side. They got too many guys there. The protection plan hasn't been there today. Really impressed with the pressure package that Austin Peay has saw Marshall had success with last week against Georgia, and they're trying to do the exact same thing this week where the protection has been really leaky at times.
Second punt for Thorson, end over end. He's going to try and drop it inside the 5 and does. And is caught by Jones at the 4-yard line. There's a penalty marker on the field.
The sideline warning against Austin Peay. There's no penalty, just a warning.
So a sideline warning.
But yeah, not a great showing so far by the Dogs.
Corey Richardson, the running back for Austin Peay, sophomore out of Fayetteville, Georgia. One of the 18 Georgia natives gets it to the 11-yard line. Quinn Billerman, the offensive coordinator. And this is going to be a run for Parson. He looked to the outside. Nothing was there. Tucks and runs. Raylan Wilson brings him down, but it's going to be a first down for Austin Peay. 14-3 with 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Georgia, a couple of touchdown drives, but they also have fumbled, and they've had a 3-and-out. They've had to punt twice overall. Kirby is not happy with this offense. This was moments ago, talking to Gunnar Stockton. You can see he's trying to coach him up with that iPad.
I think what he's probably trying to tell him is, hey, trust your pocket, trust your feet. There's guys open downfield. We want to take these downfield shots. Let's just settle in.
First Parson and Austin Peay. Out of that timeout, they are complete to Shamar Kirk. And he angles toward the sideline on first down.
Holding, number 81, offense. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
We welcome her to the company. Out of that timeout, second down and 12. Parson scrambling to the right, being chased, and he's going to run out of bounds. Madison, we are so glad to have you along, and we know you had a great volleyball career, but We know broadcasting is also going to be special for you. He's in the backfield here on 3rd down and 5. Parson drops back, looks right, and now looking for an escape lane, and he is going to be hit at the 15 and dumped. 4th down. C.J. Allen, the preseason All-American, Georgia's top returning tackler, comes in for a big play and a much-needed time, and a timeout called by the Bulldogs. Looking to throw here, and again checks it down to Cash Jones. Makes a man miss. Gets inside the 40 of Austin Peay. And it's a gain of 18 as Georgia hustles up to the line.
Nice check down. They're in too high safety look. Nothing's open. Get it to your back. Cash Jones on the check down.
Look at her throw again. Again comes underneath to Jones. With a stiff arm, and he'll slide inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Stockton is playing it very conservative, but they're getting chunk plays. That's a gain of 9.
Plenty of time. Don't be in a hurry right here.
Low snap. Stockton recovers, throws to the sideline, and that is caught by Colby Young. 1st down.
Now you can catch your breath right here if you're Georgia. Just an out route, stopping the clock by Colby Young. Gets both feet in. That'd be good in the NFL. Nice little toe tap before he goes out of bounds. And if I'm Georgia and I'm facing this too high look, especially down here in the red zone, you have to attack the middle of the field. That's where Gunner has struggled this year, and even going back to his Notre Dame game, attacking the middle of the field. He's more of a check it down, outside the numbers guy.
53 seconds to go before halftime. Georgia has a timeout. Again, they'll go to the sideline, and it's caught by Noah Thomas. And again, it'll stop the clock. A 7-yard pickup, 2nd down. 2. And it will be Jones inside being locked up. Little or no gain. And Georgia wants to use its last timeout. They can pick up a 1st down at the 3. Stockton looking to the 1-yard line. It is caught, and that will be a 1st down. Zach Branch quickly making a name for himself in Athens. 1st down and goal to go. And Georgia out of timeouts.
Spiking the ball here. Oh.
Did Austin Peay get a timeout? Yeah, I think they did. Governors call a timeout. They have 1 remaining.
Interesting call there to sneak it with 30 seconds left. If you're the scrum and you're Austin Peay, you just lay on top of those players, you'll probably get another playoff. But they don't have a timeout here, so good timeout, I think, by Coach there.
Well, the fans here absolutely love the Branch brothers already. Frazier back in the backfield. He's got it. Trying to get to the end zone, and he did not. Clock running. Georgia has no timeouts.
And they had 2 play called in the huddle. Let's see if they spike in here, a quarterback sneak it.
And now another timeout called by Austin Peay. It's an interesting call of a timeout. Austin Peay, it seemed like Georgia was on its heels.
Don't quite get that timeout there by Austin Peay. See here, Kirby Smart just so mad, saying, hey, we should be able to punch it in from 1 yard out. Interesting, they go on the perimeter, rather behind Drew Bobo and Micah Morris, left guard and center. But if I'm Austin Peay there, I let it play out. Maybe they weren't set correctly for the quarterback sneak. But now we're in a territory here where it's 15 seconds, Clay. And it gets interesting because if you run it, I do not think you have another chance to run a play. You'd have to run fast field goal out there. Did he get over?
No, I don't think so.
But this strategy, Clay, is next level. This allows Georgia to get the best play possible. Will Middleton right there on the stop. Get the best play possible for them. Now, if they quarterback sneak it or they run it, and they don't get it, 17 seconds is always the cutoff for fast field goal. It's 2nd and goal. You could get up and spike it really quick.
Trying to punch it in ahead of halftime. Cash Jones is the lone setback as Stockton goes under center. Rolling out to his right. They're going to throw, and it's dropped. Third down.
Had a guy wide open in Cash Jones. This is one of my favorite plays when I played for the Chiefs. You're just getting Gunnar Stockton out on the edge where he feels comfortable. Throws a little behind him.
Holding. Defense, number 0. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Defensive holding on Ellis.
Ellis with the hold right here, tackling him. Can't do that down here. And then the missed throw just behind him. Look, I used to play quarterback, but if it hits the receiver's hands, you got to catch it. But no, that's on Gunnar Stockton. You got to put it out in front.
And so now first down, goal to go, 10 seconds to go, but
you got to throw it.
They're right on the cusp of the goal line. They do throw it, and it's nearly intercepted. Almost picked off. It was intended for Branch.
That was a little too close for comfort.
Rattan almost intercepted that.
They're going to do a short motion in with Branch and come right back out. And this could have been really bad. He fits it in there. But if that defensive back gets his hands on it and keeps his legs, it's 99 the other way. And now we get ball at the 1. Are they going to run it? I think they got to throw it.
Second and goal, again incomplete. And now the crowd getting a little bit surly. That was intended for White Helton as Jalen Williams, the nickelback, had great coverage.
Great coverage right there. 5 seconds left. Has to be a quick throw. Has to be a quick throw. You cannot hold on to it. We called this situation trigger, meaning in the end zone or out of bounds. No interceptions, no bad plays, no second hitches as a quarterback.
Drive started at the Georgia 45, 10th play. Stockton hands it off. Tripped in the backfield.
That's the end of the first half.
Chauncey Bowens. And that's the end of the first half. Austin Peay with a goal line stand.
Just clock management right here is not the best at all. Number 98. Charles Crew III just gets through Georgia's offensive line untouched. And if you're looking at pure size from left to right, Monroe Freeling 6'7", 315. Micah Morris 6'4", 330. Drew Bobo 6'5". You got a 6'7" guy. You got another 6'10" guy, and you can't punch it in from the 1 yard line. Watch 98 right there. Goes untouched, Clay. Charles Cruz III had a big game last week, but no bigger play than that right there. I can't get over the fact that they had that many plays and the clock management was that bad. And Austin Peay survives. I say survives. They're still down 11, but it could have been a lot worse this first half.
And to make matters worse for Georgia, Ethan Barbour, their true freshman tight end, is injured and being attended to. As we're at the half, the Georgia Redcoat Alumni Band coming up at halftime. A shocking score in Athens at the break. 14-3, Georgia leading FCS Austin Peay after the first half. It's been an interesting day here in Athens. Not vintage Georgia football in the first half, leading FCS Austin Peay 14-3. The halftime is going to last over 2 hours because of the weather delay, lightning, and a lot of rain, too. Clay Mathick, Chase Daniel, Madison Fitzpatrick ready to get this thing back underway. So after a turnover on the first drive for the Dogs, they scored on their next 2 possessions, Chase.
Yeah, they settled in really nicely. Turnover on the first drive, like you had mentioned, and then 2 rushing touchdowns right there. Really like that. And look, we got a little cut to the chase segment right here. This is the end of the half. where they ran 4 plays inside the 5-yard line. You see Kirby Smart saying, we're this close. You have to show a little heart. You have to show a little soul. A missed pass by Gunnar Stockton to Cash Jones, and then almost an interception and a pick 6, and then another incompletion down here. The clock management was not great. They didn't block the defensive tackle for Austin Peay, number 98 either. He's able to go straight through, just wasn't a good start.
And then the weather set in, and right after halftime began, we were told that lightning and rain was moving in, and it shut everything down for what will effectively be a 1 hour and 56-minute delay. And remember, Austin Peay is coming up an historical upset last week in their program's history. The second FBS upset, beat Middle Tennessee on the road last week. This is a team that came in here today with a lot of confidence.
Couldn't ask for a better start from Austin Peay and quarterback Chris Parson. Let's just see if they can stack some plays together here and make it an interesting second half.
They're going to run on first down. Cortland Simmons stacked up. It's going to be a loss of 1. There is Jordan Hall, the big D lineman. He and Christian Miller, they really set the tone up front for that D.
Yeah, that's the first time we've mentioned Jordan Hall's name. Defensive coaches really love him on the staff. But you see Georgia crowd getting pumped up right here. There's not a lot of people in the stands, but they're fired up to be back out and playing some football.
Hall finally back to 100% health. He's battled injuries in his short career. Some pressure. Parson got rid of it, but it lands incomplete. Jonell Aguero, the star backer for Georgia, shooting in.
You're going to see this pressure off the slot from Jonell Aguero, and he does not get home, but he makes Chris Parson throw the ball earlier. And Jonell Aguero right there, really nice job of getting in the passing lane. And a third down right here. I would heat him up if you're Georgia. You just heated him up with pressure on second down. Come after him in this empty backfield. See if their protection holds up.
The Georgia defense had 2 sacks in the first half. Parson got rid of this one cleanly. It is caught by Shamar Kirk. He is going to be stopped short of the 35, which is what he needed for the first down. And Jeff Ferris, the second-year head coach for the Governors, will take this score at the half. As Colby Young almost slipped a tackle, and there was nothing but green grass in front of him. After making that catch, the 6'3", 215-pound senior almost took this one to the house. If he can stay on his feet, he's gone.
Yeah, just a nice pitch and catch right there on a hitch route. Ellis Jr. with a good open field tackle.
And now they will try to run it on the near sideline. Nate Frazier, who turned it over on the opening possession of this football game. Carries that one for a gain of 9. Nate Frazier came back and scored a touchdown a couple of series later, but you know, it was an inauspicious start for Frazier Jr.
Yeah, not a great start, but it was able to get into the end zone. And you see this, we haven't talked a lot about it, this gap scheme run game where they're pulling guards and tackles. They're trying to get a much better job at it doing it this year.
Second down and 1, they're going to throw. Screen pass to Young. He's got the first down, and he'll dive down inside the 30-yard line. They're going to go 4 wide here. Frazier in the backfield, and that's going to slip through the hands of Zach Branch. Got to believe, Chase, that the ball is a little slick. We had a lot of rain. It came fast, but it came hard.
Yeah, and this is real grass, right? So real grass, it's not going to drain that well. That's the worst feeling as a quarterback. I either want the ball completely drenched or not wet at all. The little in-between that this is giving him is going to cause some issues in the second half.
Stockton completed his first 10 passes to start the game, now 19 of 24 for 160. He'll pitch it to Frazier, picking his way, and finds a little alley. Gets inside the 25, down to about the 23-yard line, a 7-yard pickup. Will Middleton, the linebacker, makes the stop.
Watch the guard right here. Bo Hughley get out in front and just absolutely annihilate a defender. Getting out on the perimeter, that's what their run game is. They want to get outside and use their speed against Austin Peay's defense.
Juan Gaston, Ernest Green, both injured on that right side of the offensive line. And up the middle, Chauncey Bowens, big run to the 14. First down, Georgia.
Right down the middle, like that, just lowers your shoulder. This looks like a different Georgia offense that we saw in the first half. They were a little lethargic in the first half.
A little more dialed in. Bowens had a rushing touchdown back in the first quarter. And they're going to feed him again. Look at this. Touchdown, Bowens. Takes it 14 yards. There was some traffic. But he's able to get into the end zone as Georgia scores in its opening possession of the half.
You're going to see here, this is the gap scheme. They're pulling guard and tackle out in front. And Bowens makes one guy miss, makes another guy miss. In for pay dirt. You couldn't ask for a better start for Georgia right now. 10:54 left in the quarter. You get Austin Peay on a 3-and-out, and then you just march down the field. A little quick throw, and then running the football down their throat.
And Peyton Woodring will tack on the extra point. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall in the Georgia locker room. I think there were some inspiring words that were passed along.
Kirby Smart, man, I tell you what, it's unbelievable. Chauncey Bowens, though, just is able to get in for a touchdown. The Dogs are on top.
Drew Bobo is offensive coordinator Mike Bobo's son. We were talking to Mike yesterday extensively, and he said it's more of a coach-player relationship right now than it is father-son. After the season that ends, that is a nice downfield strike for Parson, and he has had very few of those today. He gets Shamar Kirk for a gain of 23.
It's like they're playing man-to-man coverage across the board.
Govs 1 of 6 on third down. They check it down, and it's incomplete. There's Dalen Everett again in the coverage. He had 3 interceptions last year in that SEC title game you were talking about. He has a nose for the football.
And he's sticky in man coverage. This is what he does best. 6'1", 190 pounds, is really fast. He's the leader of the secondary, and Kirk really never gets out away from him. They're trying to run a shallow cross around and then come back out. Dalen Everett, man, just sniffed it right out.
Got a little handsy there, but
hey,
got away with it.
Let him play.
And the longest pass play today for Stockton, 19 yards. And they're looking to throw here, but again, it's another short throw. Good athletic move. Wow, that's what Colby Young can do. He hurdles a tackler and picks up about 6 yards on that catch. Frazier in the backfield. He fumbled in the first half. Has come on strong since, and that's a powerful run out close to the 20-yard line to move the chains. Nate Frazier, I would say, has redeemed himself since that opening series. Branch moved to the right side of the formation. They fake the handoff to Phillips. And now there's a shot downfield, but nobody home. Intended for Oscar Delp, the tight end. He was the closest man downfield. Pass protection, a big topic of conversation this past week. He gets good protection that time. Humphreys made the catch and then dropped it. Who's got it? Austin Peay says they have it. And they do. Second takeaway for the Governors in this game. It was recovered by Davion Hood. London Humphreys had a touchdown in week 1, his second year at Georgia. The transfer from Vanderbilt puts it on the turf. Davion Hood knocked it loose, and he recovered it.
And Humphreys right here, you got to have better ball security when you know it's been raining, just lackadaisical with the football, and they're backed up right there. Let's see if he had it. It looks like he had it. He switched the ball to his left hand. You can't do that. You have to have the ball in the same hand when you're getting close to contact, cover it up, and just an awful mistake by the Dogs there. Had this game, if they would have scored, would have been 28-3. Now, your Austin Peay set up for success here on the 31-yard line.
Number 8, Nate Garnett is their best receiver. He's lined up wide to the right of the formation, but they're going to run it. And it's Cortland Simmons up the middle. Not much there as Justin Williams, another athletic linebacker for the Dogs, makes the stop to bring up fourth down.
Yeah, just trying to make something happen right here. You're going to see 19 right here get scot-free. Justin Williams tried to do a good job of catching them by surprise running the football. Justin Williams was not going to have it.
This will be a 43-yard attempt for Carson Smith. He hit a field goal in the first half. This one is up and has plenty of leg, and it is good. So Carson Smith 2 for 2, and Austin Peay scores to make it 21-6 with 5:51 to go in the third.
Let Gunner get rolling, use his legs. He only has 10 rushing yards right now, too.
And the play calling has been very conservative. Here's Dwight Phillips bursting ahead on that first down run, gets 9 on the carry.
Yeah, this is the time to take a shot, 2nd and 1.
Stockton away from center, but they're going to run it. And they're going to get the first down. Dwight Phillips. That's a first down carry and more flags.
You see Kirby Smart saying, "Oh my God." Looks like a hold.
Holding. Offense number 57. 10-yard penalty.
That's Monroe Freeling. 3rd year in the program. And again, there's been a lot of movement on that offensive line. He stays at left tackle. The right side is where most of the injuries have been happening for this team.
And as soon as you grab his left shoulder pad, I mean, I don't know, a little ticky-tacky for me, but another error, a litany of errors today, and demerits.
One Gaston, Ernest Green on the right side of that Georgia O-line, dinged up. John Jackson, who got the start today because of the injuries, he's hurt too. Now here's the deep shot we've been waiting for, and it's underthrown, and had the defender turned around, it could have been intercepted. Intended for Dylan Bell.
At least you took the shot. 2nd and 11. Dylan Bell, speedster. They're running this little switch release right there, and this safety over here makes a really good play on the football. But I like the throw. I like the fact that you let it go. You trusted your receiver, even though it didn't end up in a completion. It backs people off.
There's DeAndre Creary in the coverage, and now Stockton incomplete again, intended for the tight end Lucky, and that's going to do it. This Georgia series dries up, not for lack of trying downfield, but Stockton can't complete the passes.
We're going to see here, Lawson Lucky in the middle of the field. They have a safety right there waiting for him. Tries to force it. I get it. This is completely different than how he played last week. Miles Wiley with a nice play, but it's completely different than how he played last week. If one option wasn't there or his second option wasn't there, he would take off. At this point, just take off and run.
2nd 3 and out today for Georgia. They had just one last week in the Marshall win. Ellis lets it roll to their 36-yard line. Good punt for Brett Thorson, who is back. 54-yard kick out of the end zone. And the frustration after that last drive for Kirby Smart. We have seen that kind of exasperation a few times today.
Not what we would expect out of a Kirby Smart Georgia team. There he is trying to calm down. His backup quarterback, Ryan Puglisi, and starter Gunner Stockton just saying, hey, just take a deep breath. We're in the 3rd quarter. There's 4 minutes left. We got a lead. Don't force things. At this point, you just imagine, hey, let's just run this clock, eat up some yards. But Austin Peay has something else to say about it.
Chris Parson, the SEC transfer, has it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Xavier McLeod, 2nd year with the Dogs after a season at South Carolina, the Camden, South Carolina native. He got his big arm up to knock it away.
It's exactly what they teach defensive linemen. Get your arms up if you can't get to the quarterback on quick game. These guys are huge, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". Jump up, try to swap balls on a 5'11" quarterback in Chris Parson.
Richardson, one of the 4 running backs we have seen today for Austin Peay, but now they are down to 3 running backs left because Javius Bond is out for the game, their two-way player.
17 rush attempts, only 15 rushing yards for Austin Peay. They've made most of their hay through the air. Big third down for Chris Parson and the Governors. They ran it last time on this down and distance. You got to put it in the air. You got to trust your quarterback.
Governors just 1 of 8 on third down. Kirk in motion. Parson looks left, comes back right, has a man caught for a first down and more into Georgia territory. Still on his feet is Robinson, and Jaden Robinson finally pulled down to the turf at the 26. A 34-yard pass play for Parson and Robinson. And Carson Smith 2 for 2 on field goals, but they're looking for their first 6 of the game. Parson off his back foot, dumps it in the hands of Cortland Simmons. Simmons along the near sideline, inside the 15. Kyron Jones makes the stop, but another first down for the Governors. And you can just sense the leadership and the confidence of Chris Parsons starting to grow. Didn't join the team until January after the transfer from Mississippi State. But the guys unanimously voted him team captain. A sloppy exchange there, but Cortland Simmons stays on his feet after getting the handoff and picks up 4 more.
He's played a really good game, Chris Parson. 14 of 19, 145 yards. Obviously threw that interception. No turnovers last week, and they're lucky that exchange didn't get botched between Cortland Simmons and Chris Parson. It looked like Parson wanted to keep it on this zone read. This is a calling card of this offense. They're an RPO-style offense. Parson doesn't like to run, but he can.
Austin Peay gets in here. This game's still very much hanging in the balance. First red zone trip for Austin Peay today. Parson now getting heated up. Throws, and it is caught near the 5-yard line. Good catch by Jay Skoglund, who had a defender all over him, and KJ Bolden. It's a gain of 5, and here comes a big third down.
2-down territory, no matter what right here. Chris Parson putting his hands over his ears because it is so loud right next to the student section. Knowing that you have 2 downs right here, put the ball in Simmons' hands and go right through the middle of that Georgia defense if I'm him.
And timeout called as Jeff Ferris wants to talk strategy here with the Governors quarterback.
That's their first.
2 tight ends rolling out. Parson, he can run, throws to the goal line, and it's low and incomplete. Well covered by Ellis Robinson for Georgia, and it's 4th and 1.
Smart move to go for it here. They're keeping the offense out on the field. I like the play call, understanding, hey, you can run if you're Parson or you can throw it. Good job just throwing the ball away. 4th and 1 right here. Long one. Can Georgia's defensive front, their D-line, can they step up? We know their linebackers are deep. Can they get pressure in the backfield off the snap?
Parsons going to keep it himself. And he has got the first down. Well, they keep it in the hands of their best offensive player, their quarterback and captain, Chris Parson.
And you're going to see all this motion left, right. He's reading the left defensive end. He just keeps it right up the middle. And a little surprised this game that Georgia's defensive line has not dominated in the trenches against a very undersized Austin Peay offensive line.
First down, goal to go. Parson wants to throw, goes to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Jaden Robinson was the intended target. Dalen Everett was there stride for stride.
You can't throw it any better than that by Parson. Just an inside fade to Robinson. Hitches once, throws the ball. Oh, you got to catch it. Really good coverage. Sticky coverage by Dalen Everett right there. But, man, nice throw by Parson.
So close for the Governors. 2nd down and goal. Parson again, dancing, lunging. Stopped at the 2. C.J. Allen, there he is again. Number 3 making a big stop, and that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. A huge 3rd and goal coming up to start the fourth quarter. I know you like C.J. Allen. This was a big tackle.
Huge tackle right here, exactly on the end where Georgia got stopped. Now can Georgia stop Austin Peay in a big goal line stand coming up?
To start the fourth quarter, 3rd down and goal. FCS, Austin Peay will be stopped. Cortland Simmons hog-tied by Kristen Miller, and that's what the defense needed to force a 4th down.
Great play right there by the defensive front. If I'm Austin Peay and I'm the coaching staff, you need your very best play call. On the call sheet, what do you have? Is it moving Parson? I think you have to put him on the move here.
Parson, a little shovel pass. Georgia ready for it. Jackson Head, the tight end, is stuffed. First time that Jackson Head has been involved in the offense today for the Governors. And Georgia makes a goal line stand just like Austin Peay did at the end of the first half. Boy, that's a statement for the defense as they get a little momentum back in this football game.
It's a statement first. The defensive line stops Simmons, 52. Kristen Miller unblocked through the middle of the defense, and then Raylan Wilson right there in the middle is able to sniff out this. He's unblocked. No way you're getting in on him. 6'1", 235 pounds. He's a do-it-all backer for them. He can rush the passer. He can play off the ball for them. No bigger stop in this game than right there for Raylan.
A 12-play, 63-yard drive comes up empty for the Governors. And out from the end zone, Gunnar Stockton hits London Humphreys, and he'll get some breathing room for this offense. This is kind of a pattern I've noticed for Georgia, that if a guy fumbles, they quickly get it back in his hands. Humphreys earlier in this half fumbling. Second turnover for Georgia, but they get it to him quickly.
That's what you want as a competitor. You want the ball right back into your hands. Say, hey, that was just a mistake. Let's move on with it. Exactly what they did right there with Humphreys.
Keep it on the ground. Nate Frazier. That's his 11th carry of the day. Has a touchdown that came in the second quarter. So 3rd and short. Georgia on 3rd down today, 50%, 5 of 10.
You got to trust your big offensive line right there. Chauncey Bowens right up the middle. Right behind those big hogs. You're shifting over Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky. Right down the middle.
There goes Frazier, dropping a shoulder pad. You know, Frazier, we talk about his speed. 5'10", 205. He can throw a lick, too. That's a first down. Actually, Bowens, pardon me, at 225, he lowered the shoulder pads.
Exactly what you want to do. Just use your huge offensive line and just impose your will. Exactly like the keys to victory we had in the second half. Just impose your will. Run straight at Austin Peay.
They fake the handoff to Bowens, get it to Young on the perimeter. And we've seen a lot of this today, the skill players on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, Colby Young had a lot of catches on these bubbles or screens, and this is a calling card of this offense. We're not just out there throwing out bubbles or throwing to the sideline. It's Gunnar Stockton reading the second level of the defense for a read pull or read throw. If you pull it, you can run it. If not, if something lines up correctly, you throw it.
So a gain of 11. First down and 10. They will stay with the run game, and Dwight Phillips gets to the 30-yard line. On the opening drive last week, they faked the handoff to him, get it back to Young. Tried to step out of a tackle and then was kind of forced to the sideline. So Young, another 11-yard reception and another Georgia first down. And he hasn't turned it over. And again, Phillips looking for daylight on that left side. He is cut down. Loss of 1. We talked about Phillips and his lineage. Here's Dad holding the American flag at the games in Athens Greece in 2004, and now his son is in a different Athens and having all kinds of success. Right. 3rd down and 6. And there is a first down catch. Noah Thomas. Thomas had no catches last week. He's been more involved today. That's an 11-yard hookup and another Georgia first down. Their 2-hour halftime because of the lightning and the rain. Probably still a little slick on the playing surface. Dancing around is Stockton again. Nothing opening up beyond 20 yards downfield, and he has to scamper away. Will Middleton escorted him to the sideline. And this has kind of been the story of the first 2 weeks for Stockton. You know, time runs out for him, and he's great on his feet. He's excellent as an improviser.
And you're going to see Colby Young down here. He's wide open. You have to cut that loose. He's great as an improviser, but that's one thing. You have to be able to let this ball go right here. He's down here. You have it to the field, all this field space. That's something that Gunnar Stockton's going to want back on film.
2nd and 10. Dwight Phillips. First down. Again, Tennessee next week. We talked about, you know, keeping things off of tape so that the SEC teams don't have a ton to work with. But, you know, at some point, I think these passes downfield need to be generated.
All Tennessee's going to have to work with is inside zone, gap scheme running, and some bubble screens on tape from Georgia today.
And another run for Frazier. We talked about the rushing, second to last in the SEC last year, certainly not up to Georgia standards. You know, the commitment has been made this year in the running game. Team ran for 239 last week. The rushing today at about 180 yards on the ground so far. As they go to the air again, Stockton on time, got it to Humphreys, and down to the 11-yard line. London Humphreys. First down, Georgia.
One of the best drives of the game, started inside their 5-yard line. But wouldn't it just feel a lot better if you're Georgia and the coaches, if you just scored right here on 3rd and 7, made it 28-6?
Well, they're going for the end zone, and incomplete. He wanted Colby Young. Tried to high point that in the corner. Flag down. Luke Williams, former Purdue Boilermaker, was in on the coverage for Austin Peay.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 14 defense.
That face mask on Jalen Williams, the nickelback.
Yep.
And you can see Coach Ferris wanting a break and feeling he's not getting it here.
Dylan Bell right here. Can't have it happen on 3rd and 7 after an incompletion. You give them a first down. You know, for Austin Peay, for how well they've played, one of the bigger mistakes in the game.
First and goal. Gunnar Stockton's going to keep it. Cuts it up. And he's suplexed down at the 2-yard line by Miles Wiley. That's a gain of 3, so 2nd down and goal to go. And remember what happened, Chase, at the end of the first half. Georgia had 4 plays inside the 5 and came up with nothing.
You better believe Kirby Smart's on the sideline yelling, "We gotta score! Impose our will on each other." Really nice tackle by Wiley right there, though.
2 tight ends going to the left side. Delt and Lucky. And they hand it off. Nate Frazier. Touchdown, Georgia. So a payoff at the end of that long drive, which is what they were looking for at the end of the second quarter and didn't get, but they get it here.
And go inside zone right there. They shifted both tight ends. Who said you can't run plays twice, Clay? Because they ran that for the first touchdown of the day. They shifted both tight ends to make a 4-receiver set to one side. They run it the opposite side for an easy touchdown. If you're Georgia, you got to feel better about how this game, that drive specifically, went.
17 plays, 99 yards, and Frazier with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And you can see the backup quarterback for Georgia, Ryan Puglisi, starting to loosen up. He had action last week in the Marshall win through his first career touchdown pass. He's a redshirt freshman out of Massachusetts with a big arm.
Yeah, watching him on tape, even though only threw the ball 8 times, he was 5 of 8, almost 60 yards in that touchdown. He looks good, Clay. Like, he looks the part. Like you were saying, 6'3", 210. He can throw it now.
And Kirby Smart told you and I yesterday we would really like to give him some snaps in this Week 2 game. And another run there on 2nd and 7, a pickup of 6. 3rd down and short coming up for Austin Peay as we're under 5 minutes to go.
And you figured coming into this game, at least by halftime, at least some of the coaching staff thought, hey, we can get Puglisi in. But as you know, after the 2-hour delay, it's been a heck of a football game. Credit to Austin Peay for sticking in. They just wore down the stretch. But, man, this Georgia Bulldogs team, they're going to hear it tomorrow in the film room from Kirby Smart.
3rd down has been an Achilles heel for the Govs, 2 of 11. Good burst to the outside. That's a 1st down run for Corey Richardson, the sophomore, a Georgia native. As Austin Peay would love to get another score on the board before the end of this one.
Well, there's no moral victories, but when you're Austin Peay playing at number 4 Georgia,
I don't know.
You feel good about it.
Yeah, I would too. Parson keeps it himself. And it's going to be 3rd down. Jeff Ferris said, we don't have any stars, really like our chemistry, and we're going to use these first few weeks before conference play as our preseason. And they really like their chances in the UAC. They host Morehead State next week before opening league play at Abilene Christian. Govs made the FCS playoffs a couple of years ago under Scotty Walden, who's now the head coach at UTEP, and that's going to be the goal here under 2nd-year head coach Jeff Ferris. Can they pick up a 3rd down and 10 with 2:20 to go? Williams, as they play it cautiously up the middle. And Kristen Miller, another tackle.
And look, we talked a lot about Georgia being a young team. 54% of Georgia players are in their 1st and 2nd year in Athens. And it's just one of those things where the defense has played really well down the stretch. The question mark is the offense.
2-minute timeout. Back in a moment.
Give up 1 touchdown in 2 games played this year. 1 to Marshall, 2 field goals here. To a really feisty Austin Peay team. You see Puglisi right there. Really like him. But look, the offense is the question mark for me. Like, they can run the football. That offensive line at times today and against Marshall, of course, a lot less competition. Looked a little leaky in pass coverage.
Brian Puglisi was a terrific high school baseball player in New England growing up. He's from Paxton, Massachusetts, but now in year 2 as a quarterback at Georgia. Josh McCray in at running back. We've not seen him yet today. Here's Jacoby White-Helton. He makes the catch.
Talking to coaches, it was, hey, can he handle the playbook? Is he prepares definitely the right way, but just you got to go out there and play, right? And you just look at him, and he looks the part. Like, I saw him down there in warm-ups, Clay, throwing the football, and it looked pretty dang good.
Well, he threw his first career touchdown pass last week, a 4th quarter hookup with Elias Williams. For Williams, it was his first career catch. There you see Gunnar Stockton. His day is over. 26 of 34. 227 yards. No touchdown passes. And very little beyond 15 yards down the field in the passing game today.
We saw that in the game plan coming in, talking to the coaches, just, hey, let's just try and figure it out. Oh, my, look at that throw.
Boy, he ripped it and right through the fingers of White-Helton. Should have been caught.
Stuff like that you see on film, right? And you saw it in the first game. I know it's 1 throw. I know it's incomplete in the box score, but this guy can really sling it. Looks off the safety. That's fit in there. That's an NFL-type throw right there, Clay.
He's got a big arm, boy.
Almost too big right there, huh?
So we're 3 and out for Georgia. We anticipate that the Govs will take knees to get out of here. 30 seconds to go. 28-6. Georgia is going to go to 2-0. Wasn't pretty at certain times, but it's a win, and they will have Tennessee next week. Austin Peay will Keep it on the ground to get that clock moving. At Tennessee, ABC 3:30 kick time. Georgia has won 13 of the last 15 against the Volunteers and 8 in a row. Should be a good ball game.
Should be. They got some stuff to fix in that film room, though. And I know Kirby Smart's the coach to do it. Offensively, just get Gunner Stockton going. Defensively, they look good. Really nice win for the Bulldogs. A win's a win.
28-6, the final. That's going to do it from Athens. For Madison Fitzpatrick, Chase Daniel and company, I'm Clay Matvick. We say so long from Athens.